If you're interested in buying early vintage digital cameras from the early 2000s, there are lots of them around. You can buy them on eBay and all kinds of places. But if you're interested in buying them either to use them or just to collect them, there's a few things that you should look out for. So here to talk about that now. So what are the first things you need to look for then, Josh?
I would be thinking about what memory card it takes. The most common is SD memory cards, and those will let you use memory card readers that's probably in your laptop already, or you can get a little adapter and plug it straight into your phone to get the photos straight onto your phone. The thing to be aware of is the fact that most early digital cameras only take up to 2 GB cards. Anything bigger than that and it's unlikely to work properly.
Obviously before SD cards there were a variety of other cards, weren't there? We've got some examples here. They're the XD cards that were used by Fujifilm and Olympus, these little tiny ones here, postage stamp size ones. These are quite hard to find, and even if you own one, they're so small, they're probably in the corner of a drawer somewhere, very hard to see. And then before that was the Smart Media cards, which are wafer thin. And these are some of the earliest cards, aren't they?
They're very old and very hard to find.
Quite hard to find.
Yeah, if you need to get a replacement one, good luck.
You might find it hard also to find a reader for this card, for these Smart Media cards. Obviously, I'm sure you would find them on eBay. But
so the thing that you probably want to do in that respect to get your photos onto a computer is try and get hold of a multi-card reader. And if you get one from around sort of the mid to late 2000s, you can get every single card type in a single reader. So this one will do Sony Memory Stick, it'll do XD, it'll do Smart Media, it'll do Compact Flash, and it'll also do all of the various names of SD and what it used to be called before that, multimedia card. So this is compatible with pretty much all of the cards that you would be able to use in an old camera.
Obviously, Compact Flash was used up until relatively recently, and was one which was used by DSLRs as well, wasn't it? Most of the early original DSLRs used the Compact Flash cards. They're quite very ubiquitous, easy to find. The memory stick, Sony's memory stick, unique to Sony, that's the other one that you need to look out for.
Yeah, they're very difficult to find. So you also kind of probably want to look at the general condition of the camera, particularly if you're going to use it. So a lot of these cameras are now old and they weren't necessarily made to particularly high standards or built to last a long time. So you'll find things like port covers are breaking, so the sort of plastics just tend to perish over time. This no longer has a cover there. That doesn't necessarily matter, but it's just a thing to look out for. And you can't really connect this to a computer anymore because a lot of the old cameras use very proprietary cables. If you haven't got that cable, you're never going to find it. And that's where a card reader is so useful.
So if you are going to buy a camera that does have a proprietary cable, it'd be good if it comes with the camera.
Yes, I mean, it's really nice if you kind of can get the camera with all of the original contents of the box.
We used to get a lot more things in the box back in the day, and it was quite interesting seeing what's in there. It's quite a trip down memory lane.
You would get manuals, you get CDs, you get all the cables. Quite often they would come with a comically small memory card, kind of like 8 megabyte memory cards this camera came with. All these things would be kind of very cool to get. If you were trying to collect cameras, certainly getting an entire box full of stuff is great.
The other thing to look out for is batteries. A lot of cameras, these Fuji cameras, this battery's been used in a lot of models, so there should be a lot of those about. And other compact cameras will often share battery types. So this NP40 battery is used in Fuji, it's used in Pentax, it's used in a variety of different compact cameras. So you should be able to find lots of spare batteries around. I think the sort of worry is AA batteries with older cameras.
Why is that a problem?
They tend to chew through batteries quite quickly, and if you've not got high quality rechargeable batteries, you could be spending a lot of money on batteries.
So basically what you want are kind of the Panasonic Eneloop rechargeables, which are high capacity and very good quality, and they will work very nicely on a camera that's got AAs. And you can still keep these cameras going if you really want to by using good rechargeables. The other thing that you do have to bear in mind with the lithium-ion batteries is the original battery will almost certainly have died. So you are going to be looking out for replacements, and even a lot of replacement batteries will still be pretty old in terms of when they were manufactured, but they'll still keep the camera working. So the original battery for this camera is almost certainly not going to work anymore, but there are still third-party replacements that you can use and keep it going.
If you end up with a lot of different compact cameras, then a universal charge is a good idea, because then you can just buy the camera, don't worry about the charger so much, and just with one of these charge your batteries with it.
And you can get versions of that where you can just plug a USB cable into the charger, and they have these adjustable prongs which you slide around to match the battery that you're using. And they're very neat, and there's a lot of them around, and you can still buy them new.
Okay. What else should people be looking out for?
Of course, there's the really important thing. If you want to use a camera, does it work? And you will often see in eBay auctions very well described cameras, which they say they're fully working. If you want a camera to work, that's the route you should go down. If you're just kind of curious about getting your hands and getting a play on a camera just because you kind of look at it and think it's great, then you can kind of take a punt on an auction which isn't so well described. And then you might end up with something like this, where this camera kind of works. It'll power on, the screen will come on, a lot of the functions work, but the electronic viewfinder doesn't work. And the biggest problem, it doesn't recognize compact flash cards anymore. Compact flash was a very problematic format because you could put it in the wrong way around, and then people would push too hard and bend the pins inside the socket and break them, and that would be the end of a working camera.
Even if you put it in the right way around, that could still happen.
Yes. It was quite difficult to bend the pins if you put it the right way around, but it could still be done. Because once a pin gets out of alignment, that's it. It's going to bend further and further.
More of a problem with card readers, I find, with the pins. Obviously, if you're just buying these cameras to collect them to display because they look nice and interesting, then these things don't matter so much. Then it's just a matter of finding interesting looking cameras that you like the look of.
Yeah, and then the nice thing to do is if you can find one. A lot of these cameras came with stickers on telling you about what they did, and if you can find that, that's quite fun. This is 40 times mega zoom on here. Rapid AF, probably not as rapid as we would consider any these days, and high quality movie of 640 by 480 pixels. So that's a little glimpse back into the past.
Okay, well, I hope you found that interesting. Hope you have fun looking for your next vintage digital camera or your first vintage digital camera. Do have a look around, there's plenty to choose from, and don't forget to take on board the advice we've given you so you don't get disappointed. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Tell us below in the comments if you have any additional tips or thoughts on collecting or buying vintage digital cameras, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, happy hunting.